Hey traders, John Hall here. Hope you guys are doing well. In today's video, man, I'm excited about these markets. I absolutely am so excited about these markets. Yeah, so what I want to do in this video today, guys, I want to cover the stock market. I get just a bit of an update of what's happening right now in the markets. We're getting a very nice bounce. Is this the bottom? What can we expect moving forward? And so on and so forth. Bit of an update actually on silver and gold. Also on gold stocks, what's happening there? I'm going to be talking also about one stock that is set for a big move, I believe, over the next couple of years, as it's probably one of the most strongest stocks right now going out there. And most people are not talking about this one stock. We're also going to be covering oil. This could be some form of a false breakout before we see a rally. And then the overall picture right now. What's really going on behind the scenes? What's really set for this market moving forward? So many people coming out and saying this is the top in the markets and the stock market's going to continue to crash and that's it. It's over. With the Fed printing money and all that sort of stuff, what does it really mean to the markets? Let's look at it from a black and white perspective. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, before you do, make sure you, after you watch this video, guys, go to johnsfreegift.com to grab my free trading course. It's about, I think it's about what? 14, 15 videos long, chart reading, trading systems, mindset, all that sort of stuff. If you need help with your trading right now, it's a free trading course, all right? You're going to learn so much there. So just go get access to that free trading course, and I hope that helps you out. You're going to learn so much in there. Anyway, that's my plug. Go get my free course. Let's actually get straight back. Let's get back into what I promised. Let's get into what I promised you just recently, okay? So one thing that's happened just recently, and I called and I did a video a couple of days ago on this day right here. If you guys remember, right, and I said that this here is now likely to be a breakaway gap, just like this one here, right? And look what's happened here at 1-2 days up through here. Now, I actually thought the market would be down today. And this is where so many people really get this wrong, right? Oh my goodness, the report's coming out tomorrow. The jobs report's coming out tomorrow. It's going to be really bad. The market's going to sell off. And then the market rallies. The market is a smart thing, right? The market, the collective wisdom of the market itself is such a smart thing. Do you know that the market knew that the jobs report wasn't going to be as good? Now, I didn't actually look at the number, so I don't know exactly what it is. If you want to post it below, what actually was the job number? It may have actually been much better than expected. I don't know. But the market rallied today. Okay, the market rallied, and as you can see, bit of a breakaway gap, and now we're starting to run up through here. And as I said to you before, traders, that yes, I was buying my options through here, but when this rallies, it's going to be quick and it's going to be sharp, and it's going to be a few months before they come out and say everything is contained, right? And so that's for the stock market right now. Same for the S&P 500, very nice move to the upside today, and also for the Nasdaq. Okay, so the thing is that by looking at this right now, you can actually see it's so interesting, isn't it? Is that this day here is when they called pandemic, had a little rally down, and now we're actually having a bit of a springboard back up. Now, I don't believe that this is going to continue up or like a lot. Meaning, what I mean by that is that I believe we're likely to get some form of a pullback here soon. Now, that's just my thoughts, guys. This could be an absolute complete rally and up out of the markets, right? I don't know. I'm still long right now, and I'm benefiting from this. As I said before, guys, and you guys have been watching me, right? I've been saying, get ready for a buy, get ready for the dip. And that's what I've been saying as well too, is that the market will lead this economy, right? As we start to continue rallying and moving to the upside, we're going to continue rallying up and up and up. And then guess what? Maybe in April, May, June, when the market's already had a big rally, that's when they come out and say it's all contained, all that sort of stuff. You know, you could sort of see the picture, and that's what I've been saying for the last few weeks. You see the picture from what's happening with China. If we can do exactly what China did, we're probably likely to get the exact results what China did, right? Which simply means they were shut down early February. So they were shut down from 4 to 6 weeks roughly. And so America is actually going to be shut down from roughly 4 to 6 weeks, right? Because if we look at the actual Easter period, that's going to be around about a 4-week period. So it's pretty much the same as what China's doing right now. And if we can get the similar results, because they had like 80,000 cases, right? If we can get similar results, guess what? Guess what's happening right now in China? All the stores are opening up, and 42 Apple stores are back together as well too. I just spoke to someone just recently, and they do a lot of business over in China. 3-4 weeks ago, they couldn't get anything from China. Now they're like, yeah, when do you want it? We can have it. We can have it on a ship tomorrow. That's what's happening in China right now, guys. So fundamentally, the whole virus thing is not as bad as this. But I've been saying for the last 2 or 3 weeks now that if you just look at the patterns, and the pattern's going to repeat itself. As long as we do the similar things, we're going to get the similar results, right? You do this. If you do the same thing, if you do the same thing as someone else, you're going to get the same result. So that's why I've been saying that. I don't know where the bottom is. The bottom might not be even in right now. I believe we're forming a bottom, and we probably won't go straight up. We'll probably get a red day here and a red day there and a little bit of a pullback. We may even get a pullback here right now, but the overall picture for the next few months is definitely up, I believe. And that's the reason why, as you guys know, right, I've been saying, especially on this day right here, it was actually on the SPY. It was actually on this day here. I actually went long big time. And bought a lot of options. I also bought, as you guys know, I went here long big time on JP Morgan, and in Apple and all stuff like that as well too. But anyway, the whole thing is this, guys, is that we can see so much what's going on here right now, okay? It's just like, it's so black and white what's going on, especially when I get to the end of this, when I talk about the overall picture, it's going to be so clear to you that if you remove yourself from the fear and the monger and, oh my goodness, people are coming out and saying, this is the top, this is the end, oh my goodness, it's like, oh my goodness, I'm telling you right now, guys, I've been listening to some of my coaches who are really successful investors, and stuff that I've been learning from them, the facts of what's really going on right now. It's just, oh my goodness, it's so incredible. So guys, and especially the Dow Jones, right? We're starting to really get above here. And if I look at this weekly chart, look at this weekly chart here. Oh my goodness. Now, we've still got another day here left, but talking about a false breakout or what? This line through here was what? This line through here was, if we bring up the monthly chart, this line through here was indeed low. So this is a major trend line. Look what happened here. Let me go back to the weekly chart now. Look at this here. It broke below it, and now it came back above it. What do you think this whole thing is here right now? Massive false breakout. What happens on a false breakout? It's a springboard for the market to rally up. Get ready for this gap to be closed. Now, not straight away. All right, pumpkins, don't get your knickers in a knot. Oh, John, you said it was going to happen. Probably by the end of the year, it's going to happen, okay? So, yes, we're going to get our pullbacks, and yes, we're going to get periods where the market does nothing for a week or two, and that's going to happen, okay? Just be prepared for that. But look what's happened here right now as well too. We had this major low point through here, and now we actually broke down through here, and now we're rallying back up. So we're really gaining a lot of strength through here. Same for the S&P 500, right? This long-term trend line, let's go back to the monthly chart. That's that low level. Look at that major low level through there. And now look what happened. We broke down. We came all the way back. Look where the monthly chart is closing here. Look how strong that is. Strong like bull. Right? And now look what's happened, right? Now, it actually broke below the trend line and now breaking back up. What do you think this is? This is some form of a what? False breakout. Not only that, but it goes inside of this low level through here. So we have this whole collective here is one big false breakout to the downside, and now we're getting back up. Now, guys, anything can happen, right? Like, we never know exactly what's going to happen from day by day by day. I don't know, but the overall picture is pretty clear. But looking at this here right now, look at this here. One big false breakout. What is a false breakout? The market loves to what? Give you a false breakout before it starts to make some nice moves. Just like it did back here. Look at this here. Support. Look what happened. We broke down, we broke back up and went for a nice run. Ooh, we broke down, we broke back up. Get ready for a nice run. This gap here is going to be closed, guys. Get ready for it. And that's why I'm very happy to be long. That's why I'm very happy that for all you munchkins has been watching my videos for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Yes, I actually, I did. And, I did, if I go back to my SPY, I did buy some options on, I think it was this day right here or something, or this day right here, one of those days through here. I also then added some more to that position around here somewhere, and then and that was about a 5% of my account. And then I loaded up big time on this day right here. So, but guess what's happening to the options right now, guys? They're really starting to pick up big time. Really, 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 really are starting to pick up big time with what's going on in these markets here. So get ready for that as well too, as I said before, guys. And as you've been seeing me for the last week, right, I've been saying I didn't care about picking the bottom because the majority of my options are December expiration. And guess what's happening now with my options? The options volatility is starting to pick up in those options as well too. People are now starting to get on that side and so on and so forth. So again, guys, I'm definitely not saying that the market's going to continue up every single day. No, but the overall picture is we're starting to really hold this here really, really nicely. Let's actually continue on through here. Let's actually have a look at the transports. Look at the transports. Very nice breakup, and a continue up from there. The transports are the one that the transports are probably going to run up to, I would say, around the 160. Let's bring up the weekly chart here for a minute. We can see here that 160, possibly even overshoot to that 170 there. I'd want to see this thing. It's going to be really interesting to see what actually happens up here on the transports, because that's where we're probably likely to run to. But that's that major resistance level on the transports. It'll be really interesting to see. Do we actually fail through that, or do we just continue to blast through? Once again, we still have this major gap up here that is likely to be filled. And again, you'll get a good idea about the transports, about what I think is going to happen with the transports when I get to the end of this video, right? With the overall big picture of what I see here. Now let's actually continue on silver and gold. Silver and gold, right? Gold is actually, once again, what is this here? False breakout, springboard. Look what happened here. False breakout. This day here confirmed the false breakout, and we've done nothing but rally up ever since. The interesting thing is actually the futures market has been going absolutely nuts, right? And all this sort of stuff here about reading the charts, about looking at the trend, all that sort of stuff. You're going to get that in the free trading course. Again, guys, link in the description. Go get that free trading course. Learn how to read these markets. And so there's no certainties, but it gives you a really good probability of what's likely to happen. And that's all we can do, right? We can stack the odds on our side of certain things happening. So the gold is still through there, so I still see gold. Even if we get a little bit of a pullback here, guys, that's okay. I still see this thing rallying up quite nicely, and same for silver as well too, right? Like silver looks like it could be what, and I've been talking about this false breakout, but look at this here, major low level through here, and we had a big flush down, and look what's happening. We're coming right back up. So this, once again, we could be in this moment. We could be seeing for what's really going on, and we could be seeing the final low before a 2, 3, 4 year, 5 year bull run. And again, I'm going to get to a bit later on, guys, but I believe we're getting ready. This is jacked up, I tell you. So that's what's happening there on silver there. Again, I'm actually personally long silver. I want to get long even more with silver, but I want to see, if you watched my yesterday's video, I want to see this thing can definitely give me a false breakout and start to break above these highs up here, above 20. If we can get above 20, that's going to give me really, really confidence that this was the final low. See, it was the final low before a massive bull run. That's the market absolutely loves to do that. And if you can recognize it in real time, guess what? You can use that as your advantage to give you confidence, probability that yes, this is what's going to happen. Okay. So let's have a quick look at the gold stocks. Let's go back to the daily chart. The gold stocks on a short-term basis here, guys. Let me just bring this up through here. On a short-term basis, we can see that we've run up to this resistance level, plus also a bit of resistance level on the GDX. As you can see here, right, we had this little gap up here, little breakaway gap, and we continue rallying up. We're making higher lows on the bars, which is showing strength. It's very, very, very unclear what's going to happen here, but I do believe we're likely to push through here and continue up. But again, even if we did get a bit of a backing pattern first before we see that, and same for the GDXJ as well too. But the GDXJ, once again, little gap up, Even though it's a down day today, see how it actually made a higher low, a high low, high low, high low. That means that the buyers are continue to start to raise their prices. Higher low is on the bar here, right? And you'll notice this in downtrends: low, high low, high low. Even though the bar's red today, you can see that that's what's happening through there. So that's what I'm seeing through there, guys. Let me talk about one stock that I see that is probably set to make a big move, and that is, drum roll, ding, Netflix. Look at Netflix. Netflix hardly moved through this whole time. Markets coming off big time, Netflix and Amazon, right? Amazon was one of those stocks. But if I look at my weekly chart, look at this major. Now, guys, disclaimer on this bitch, right? Disclaimer right now. I am not saying that I am not long Netflix. I am not getting in Netflix right now. I still need to see a bit more confirmation for that to happen. But what I am saying is this is setting up, as you can see, a major triangle pattern that's been forming. And look at this here, been doing nothing for 2 years. What do you think is going to happen if we can get a very nice break up above this, say, 400 level after it doing nothing? Say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. A nice move, right? Just like back here. Look at this here. Nothing for 2 years, breakout, very nice run for a few years. Nothing for a few years. So to me, the most stock that is probably likely to make the biggest moves over the next couple of years is probably going to be Netflix. Now, obviously that's not 100% certain there, but what I am saying right now, guys, is that by looking at this thing here, due to the fact that we are squeezing up into this triangle pattern, again, guys, the charts are telling me what's going on here. The charts are telling me that Netflix is probably going to make a very nice move to the upside long term. So I may be looking for a longer term position on Netflix. I'm not in right now, and I don't know when I'll get in, or if I do get in at all. But I'm just looking at that there right now. And the fact of the matter is that Netflix actually held up really strongly, and held up strong when this whole market was falling to pieces. Look at it right now. If I go back to the daily chart, like we only had like what? That was like what? So we had a 24% pullback, but it's not much, right? Look at what's been happening here. Last year into this year, a bit of a pullback. But once again, the big picture is what? Massive triangle pattern, and we've had this low, and look at the buyers coming in here, right? We've got this some form of a low. This is a low, this is a high low pushing back up. So what I would love to see, I would absolutely love to see, is Netflix do nothing for a month. Just do nothing, and then give me a very nice breakout. If that happens, then I'm going to be all over this like a fat kid loves cake. Or should I say all over it like most people love toilet paper these days. Now, just before I finish up here, what we're probably likely to do, let me actually bring this trend line up to here somewhere. So it's probably through there. That's where the triangle pattern is. If we do start to see this breakout on Netflix, where's it likely to go? So with this whole, when you ever see a channel like this, or a triangle pattern like this, you see the triangle pattern, you see this point through here, and what you want to do is you want to measure from the low to the high point. So I would say somewhere around about this point through to here, up to this point here. See that point through there? So I'd measure that from there to there. If not, probably from that there to that there. Measure that from that there. And if it breaks to the upside, if you use a projection tool, then Netflix, which sounds crazy right now, right? Netflix could actually get to the top up here around 550 with Netflix. So if we do start to see a breakout with Netflix, we can see that. And that's exactly what even happened on the stock market. If you guys remember, right, the stock market, let's go back to, that's the weekly chart. If I go back to the daily chart, let me go back to the daily chart just before the breakout, and let me share with you what I see through there, right? So we had what? We had this very nice triangle pattern through here. Look, see this triangle pattern through here? It's the exact same formation, right, as Netflix is doing. Nice triangle pattern. You measure from the high of the triangle pattern. You measure from that there to that there. Right, that there to that there. As you can see, from the high to low. Then you project that out. That simply means if we do start to rally up and we break out of this level here, then we're likely to see that level through there. And as you can see, look what happened with the actual market itself. Did it get there? Actually, yes, it did get there. and it actually then started to collapse. And isn't that fascinating there, guys? Is that I did the exact same formation, but look where it found a little support, it broke back up a little bit, and then that's when we found the collapse. So these triangle patterns, when we do start to break, that gives you a very good guidance. And the reason why I love that is, guess what? If I put 2% risk on my account on that Netflix and it doesn't work out, my loss is 2%. But if it does work out, guess what? My account could be up 10, 20, 30% return or even more if that trade, let's say Netflix, and again, I'm not in right now, I need to see a bit more confirmation, but if we do start to see a bit more confirmation and I do get into a trade, the benefit of trading options with that and plenty of time is that I can risk small on my account, but have an astronomical gain, right? So if I have, say, a $100,000 trading account and I place a $2,000 trade, that's my risk. That $2,000 trade could end up being a $20,000, $30,000, or even $40,000 profit, depending on the volatility of the move. And my only risk is $2,000, right? So $2,000 risk for a $20,000 or $30,000 or $40,000 profit. I'll take that trade every day, right? So, but again, I need to see confirmation first. So I need to see confirmation. They're more from a longer term style of plays. Anyway, let's have a quick look at oil. Oil is doing what? So this is oil here right now, and oil has what? Oil has broken below this low through here, has had a massive flush down below this low level through here, and now we're holding through here. What do you think this actually could be? Say it with me. False breakout. Man, it is the season of false breakouts. Gold did it, and now it's taken off like a rocket. Stock market's doing it. We're holding really, really strongly. It is the season of false breakouts. False breakouts. It's the season of toilet paper too. Stop taking the toilet paper, will you guys? I might be running out soon. Right, so we had this big flush down. We have this gap here that's definitely going to be filled. We know that. So if you look at this daily chart, look what's happening here. We had it came down pretty much to the support level, rallied down, came back down. Now we're doing nothing. If we can get break back above through here, then that tells me we're probably, if we do get that false breakout, then we're probably likely to run up to at least come and close this gap through here. Now, traders, let me talk about something that, let me bring this up through here. All right, let me look at this here, right? So let's actually talk about the facts here of what's going on. Actually, that was the wrong one. Actually, you know what? Let's actually do this here. If you want to see what's really going on behind the scenes, guys, let's actually do this here. Let me do this, all right? If you want to really know what's happening behind the scenes, let's actually start with this. If you want to know what's likely to happen moving forward, just follow what people have already done, right? So, you know, turning the corner in the first hit countries, right? China has closed its last coronavirus hospital this week because the number of cases is so low. We can see that of 80,000 people sick in China, more than 70,000 people, more than 70% have recovered and been discharged from hospitals. Doctors in India, France, and US have been successfully treating COVID with a combination of that. New research, blah, blah, blah. University of Queensland, which is, I think, is for Australia. For clinic, scientists have found the two differences registration medications have wiped out the disease in test trials. A 103-year-old grandmother has made a full recovery. Apples have reopened all 42 stores in China. Scientists in Israel, blah, blah, blah. South Korea recovers or are beginning to outnumber new infections. A Japan flu drug has been proven, etc., etc. So, if you've been listening from this perspective, okay, if you've been listening to what I've been saying for the last few weeks, I've been mentioning this here about China, right? So China's, look at, and I said at the start of this video, China's now picking back up. They're shipping, things are moving, things are happening, right? Especially us here in Australia, we love that. Why? Because we're like brother, sister to those, to those Chinese. So we can see that, okay? We can see what's happening through there. And so therefore, we're doing the same thing as China did, and they had 80,000 cases. So if we do the same thing as probably one of the worst countries did, and they contained it, guess what's likely to happen? Let me see. Oh, that's right. We're likely to get the similar result. And therefore, over the next few weeks, maybe a month, we're likely to start to get back to normal, and stores are likely to start to open up, and things are likely to pick up, and things are likely to go. So recently I've made a correlation between here right now and SARS, not the actual severity of that, but the timing of that. Okay, the stock market timing, not the actual health SARS virus timing. It was what was actually happening, and the reason why I said that is because if I go back and actually, let me just bring this up through here. If I go back and actually share this with you, let's actually bring this up here. Let's bring up a monthly chart. Right, monthly chart. If we go back to the actual SARS period, this is the S&P 500. I wonder if the weekly would go back that far. No, so monthly. All right. If we go back to the actual SARS period, this is why we're making the correlation of that, is because look at this here, right? This point through here was when SARS around March. Where is March? All right, so it was March, April, May. Oh, okay. So it was around this period through here, right? So this was March. Yeah, so around this period through here when the stock market found a bottom with SARS, right? Then the stock market ran up here for what's this, 1, 2, 3 months, then went sideways. Again, that doesn't look like much, but you can see that. Let me actually see if I can bring this up through here. A 3-day? Actually, no. A 7-day? Let's go 8-day. I'll get there, don't worry. 9-day. No, all right, it's not going to do it. Okay. So we can see that that's what's going on. As I said before, right? In the whole SARS period, the market from here to here, or the market ran up from here to here, which was a nice 20% rise. It found a bottom, and then the market ran up, and then the whole SARS thing happened. Then the whole thing happened where they said everything's contained, and then the market continued up. The point I'm trying to say is that right now it's similar timing as in, like, we've had a very strong drop in March, and then the March right now is actually starting to rise up, as so did a March timing of the stock market. And it's interesting that is all happening with the cycle of probably a month or so from now, all the countries are probably likely to start to reopen again, or most countries like here in Australia, in America, they're likely to reopen again 2 to 3 months from now, all over, or even a month or two from now, and then maybe a month or two after that, things are likely to be contained, and then everything says it's likely to be contained. But the whole thing about what I'm saying here is that just like SARS, the stock market ran up for a few months first, then they said the stock market was contained. That's what we're probably likely to be doing right now as well too. We're probably likely to continue up over the next few months. Again, I don't know if we're definitely in the bottom right now, guys. I don't know if we're definitely in the bottom. If we're in the bottom right now, this thing could just easily roll over and have a bit of a dip here. So I'm not saying that day by day, but I do believe over the next few months we're likely to continue rising, and then everything's going to be good. Because if we follow exactly what China's doing right now, we're going to get the similar results. So therefore, 2-3 months from now, everything's going to start to really, really good. Therefore, fast forward 2 or 3 months, just like happened in 2003. March, April, May, June, we're going to see a rise in the stock market before that. So the stock market is likely to lead us out of this point through here. The stock market's a very, very, the collective wisdom of the market itself. So let me bring this point up. Let me actually bring this screen up here while I'm actually having a chat with you guys. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing through there. The next thing I want to actually share with you is this. Okay. Let's look at this from a perspective of point of view. People say, oh, John, this is not SARS. How can you relate this to SARS? This is like the Spanish flu of 1918 or 1919. 1919 was a big one. Okay, is it really? What happened in 1920? The biggest, right? Roaring 20s, right? 1920 was the start of the Roaring 20s. Property, stock market. So if we're going to correlate that to that virus and that time, what's coming next? Cool. Oh, you know what, John? No, you're wrong. This is like a 1987. The velocity of this crash, it's like 1987 all over again. Okay. What happened after 1987? We went for a big bull run. Oh, but John, this time is different. Is it really? Okay, let me actually bring up some more facts for you. All right. So many people have been calling the top of the stock market, and I absolutely disagree. Look at this here. Now, John, the government is pushing this market up. It's manipulated. It's this, it's that, it's blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's look at the facts here. What happened in 2008 when they were really big trouble and the market and the interest rates went down to zero and they started printing money? What happened? Oh, that's right. The stock market and housing market went up. Now, is it fair that asset prices are rising where the economy is not doing much? No, but you have two choices here. One, we can see what's likely to happen based on the Fed balance sheet, as you can see what's happening here, and based on the Fed balance sheet, what's happening here. And we know they've already said they're going to come out and keep infinity printing money. What does that mean? Okay, zero interest rates, printing lots of money into the system, i.e. equals rising of asset prices. This is just a reset before we see at least another couple of year bull run, at least. And especially here in Australia, like, you know, we have this here with the housing prices here in Australia. And if you think about shorting the housing market, especially here in Australia, my goodness, we are getting ready, especially here in Australia, right? We are getting ready for another 3 to 5 year bull run in the actual housing market. We've been pulling off for the last 2 or 3 years. But get ready for another roaring 20s for this thing here. It's a fact, guys. Just look at what's happening here, okay? And so you can have two choices here. You could say the market's bloody manipulated. Yes, you know what? Guess what? It is. Cool. Doesn't mean you can't do well from that. Oh, you know what? The Fed's printing money. That's the reason why the stock market went up today, because the Fed's printing money. Guys, I didn't give a shit why the market's doing whatever. You have two choices. You can look at the facts for what's really happening and try to complain and whinge and whine while the Fed's doing this and Fed's doing that. The other reason why you'd be doing that is because you're on the wrong side of the Fed. Or you know what the Fed's doing, let's jump on their back because they're going to keep pushing this market higher and higher and higher overall. And I'm going to jump on their toenails. And what is their toenails? Their toenail is, I'm going to jack up these prices as much as possible, and we're going to keep printing trillions of dollars. They did just like a $2 trillion stimulus package. I wonder what's going to happen to the asset prices, right? You know what's going to happen, right? It's so black and white. So for you guys that are calling the top and all this sort of stuff, I see so many people on YouTube saying this is the top of the market and all that sort of stuff. Guys, the government, when they print money and they drop interest rates, things go down right now. And just like in a recent interview that Paul Tudor Jones said, and I'll leave you with this. He said, we're not at the top yet. He said, this is like 99. In fact, that was actually before the crash. And what actually happened in 1988, 1998 to 1999, we actually went through what? A bit of a pullback, right? And then we continued up. People call this the top. Well, if I actually bring up, let me do this here right now. If I bring this up through here, and let me bring up the monthly chart once again on this one here. All right. And if I bring back, actually, let me see, can I bring up a line chart? Yeah, there we go. All right. So people, Paul Tudor Jones said this is like 1998, right? So if we look at this here, see this here? Look at this. Stock market rise. Look how big that rise was, right? Then we had a bit of a pullback, didn't we? This is a monthly chart, by the way. Bit of a pullback, right? Nice pullback through here. What did we see? We saw a big crash. In fact, let me actually do this here because we can see a bit better. All right, let's continue over here. Right, look at this here, right? Absolutely from high through to low, we had a really, really, really big pullback through here, right? You know, oh my goodness, we've been in a bubble for so long. We've been in a bubble for so long. And guess what? And then suddenly, guess what? Then the market just kept going up and up and up before we formed the top. We kept going up for another few years before we formed the top. And just like Paul Tudor Jones said, who's a lot smarter than I am, and a lot better investor long term than I've been. I'm catching up to him right now. Give me another 10 years or so. But on all serious note here, guys, he said that the overall top of this market will end by the Fed raising rates. Now, why will they start to raise rates? Because ultimately the stock market will go, inflation will start to pick up, and then they'll have to start raising rates again to slow it down. And that's when I think we're in big trouble. But I still think, guys, out of all this whole biggest move through here, I still think there's another 3 year, maybe 2 or 3 year to 5 year bull run coming in asset prices. And again, you can complain and whinge and whine. It's probably not going to do nothing for the actual growth of the economy. But the whole rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Don't whinge and whine. Be involved with that so you can get richer and richer, right? It's like people are like, oh my goodness, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. Yeah, dumbass, because you're not doing the things that the rich are doing, which they're buying stocks. They know what's happening with the government. They know what's happening with the Fed. So ride it. You know the new song? Ride it. You gotta jump on it. Ride it. I'm not sure if that's how it goes, but this is what's happening here right now, guys. And we can either fight it and miss out on a really good opportunity, or just look at the facts for what's really happening. And that's why this sort of flash move right now, I've been so confident in coming out in the live stream and getting my ass fucking handed to me by you guys in the YouTube's comments, calling me an idiot, and I didn't know what I was doing and stuff right now. And I was trying to say I'm not trying to pick a bottom. And I said, wait, come back to me at the end of this year, because that's where most of my options expire in December this year, and tell me where we're at. And already things are starting to slowly bottom out. False breakouts are happening. Things are starting to pick out. Government's starting to print money. Everything is propped up in the probability to say by the end of this year, when my options do expire, I'm going to have a very, very, very nice profitable trades across the board, because I understand this one fundamental thing, and that is this was a short-term dip, and also this was a short-term massive flash crash. And just by looking at the fundamentals of how China reacted and what actually happened there is what's likely to happen here. And then understanding that, yes, the stock market's going to lead us out. So therefore, we're probably likely to rise from now into April, into June, and maybe even July. And then things are going to be contained, and the markets already would have rised up. And then from there, from the Fed printing money and their interest rates being so low, we're probably likely to break up to all-time new highs and watch this thing rally. Yes, I was wrong in calling, in thinking how deep this thing was going to go, but no, I'm not going to be wrong in what the actual government is doing. And by the end of this year, or at least by the end of next year, we'll be much higher than this year's highs. Hey traders, before you go, I want to give you my brand new trading course. If you go to johnsfreegift.com, you can get access to this free trading course. No credit card required. You got to learn things like the #1 chart reading technique that has worked ever since the 1950s, so you can know what's going on right now. You also learn the powerful trading technique that tells you when the market's about to make a massive explosion. You're also going to learn the top deadly mistakes that's killing your chance of being successful and how to change that today. You're also going to learn my #1 trading system for the last 15 years that gets over 90% success rate. We're only trading 1 hour per day. You also learn how my mentor made almost $2 million in one trade, and plus so much more. This goes for about over 12 hours long, walking you through the foundations, chart reading, trading systems, trading techniques, management, and also and mindset, everything that you need to know. And this is absolutely free, as before, no credit card required. So go to johnsfreegift.com right now. Go to that right now, because I'm only doing this for a limited time only, then I'm shutting it down. So go do it right now before it's gone, because when it's gone, it's gone. So go to johnsfreegift.com right now to get access to this free trading course right now. Go to johnsfreegift.com.